Hello everybody and welcome back to the August edition of The Up and Down. I'm Nia Frederick once again with Mass Golf, and this month I'm here with Mai from Kohr Golf, and we're just going to have a little chit chat about her position here as the only female instructor on staff with the Academy and everything else there is to know about her.
Thank you for having me, Nia.
Of course, it's an honor to be meeting you, to be here at Kohr. What a wonderful facility you have.
Thank you.
So tell me about yourself. How did you get here? How did you get started with the game of golf? You know, what's your story?
So I started golf when I was 8, I think, back home in Thailand. My parents were the one who started it. But then after a while, I don't know what happened to them. They just kind of stopped. But I continued to play. So from there, I mean, I got to the States when I was 12, actually. I was playing in the golf academy down in Florida. 8th grade to throughout high school before I head and play golf in college. So golf has been like big part of my life for my whole life, basically.
Wow, that's amazing. And now you're here giving back to the next generation of golfers.
Correct.
So what helped you kind of make that big connection to Kohr, specifically coming to Massachusetts, specifically Kohr Academy? I mean, what helped you kind of make that path to make that connection? So
I have to give credits to Ian Highfield for sure. So when I was in the academy back in a long time ago, right? Ian was my mental coach, like a sports psychologist coach. And so from there, after I graduated from college, I quit golf actually for a few months before my coach from college kind of introduced me to long drive, right? So once they introduced me to long drive, I kind of got back into the game, learning the mechanical part of a golf swing, how to hit it faster and And so from there, Ian called me up and he's like, hey, he got this job in Boston. Would you be interested to come and join the team? So that's when the conversation started. And at that time I was in Thailand. So it was gonna be a big move again back here, but I think I made the right choice.
Yeah. So your commitment so far has been a super special journey. So you've made a few different smaller moves to spend your summers here at Kohr. What does that journey kind of look like for you, mentally, physically, coming here to spend the summers at Kohr and then going back to Thailand and now finally being here?
I actually liked the leaving Thailand for a little bit to come here because it kind of puts me back into the golfing environment where I could train for my long drive. The main purpose is to train for my long drive right here, but also I could hang out with the kids and see how the academy works and all those stuff. So that's kind of nice. The facility here, I mean, it's awesome, right? We got the indoor now and then the outside, the outdoor. So that has been really helping me with my long drive competition. So I like the move, but now that I got the visa to stay here for a bit, I'm glad to be joining Kohr and their team, and because they just have great commitments to the kids, and I think it's great to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. So now that you get to stay here and really be a part of the academy, can you talk a little bit about how the academy helps program participants in the most unique way? Not only does it seem like there's kids from all over the state that come and play for Kohr, and not only do you also support those kids in whatever they're doing, but what makes your programming really unique for those kids?
So I think one big characteristic that makes Kohr very unique is the commitment that they have towards the kids. We don't just see them as a golfer, we see them as a person, to develop them to be a better person throughout their lifetime. So I think giving them that memory and to get better at golf too, is a big part of it.
So I noticed when we were outside, you go back and forth between short game and long game and continuously switching that up, getting kind of different coaches involved at different stages of their practice. What is kind of the mindset behind that for you?
Yeah, so yes, when you come and see the Academy kids practice, you'll see them walk a lot, right? They walk from the putting green to the chipping green, and then they have to walk all the way back to the driving range and all, and we kind of just have them cycle around. And the reason for that is like to simulate the game of golf, right? Like when we play on the course, we normally don't just stay there on the tee and hit 100 golf balls, right? So we call that like inner leaf practice, where they just do one skill, right, well, and then they kind of take them out of their comfort zone, put them in another variable, do another skill before they go back and do that skill one more time. So just to simulate the game of golf and to get them, challenge them to kind of adapt throughout the game.
Yeah, definitely adapting to their different settings that they'll see.
Yeah.
I know I definitely take more putts than I do take tee shots, that's for sure. So how does Kohr support your game? You mentioned a little bit that you're here to participate in your World Long Drives, which she's won before. But how do they continuously support your golf game in like being here as well as being an instructor here?
Yeah, so I mean, just being here, putting myself in the environment of people who love the game, I think that helps a lot. Like when I was back home, right, like there's no driving range that I could just go and hit my drivers, like literally. So like I could not practice, you know, I could only train like fitness and working out, but I couldn't hit. The range in Bangkok, like, it's just surrounded by nets that's like 100 yards. One time I went and hit a 5-iron and it went high, right? Like I just hit my normal 5-iron and they told me to stop hitting it. So that was my 5-iron. So a driver, it was impossible. Yeah. So coming here, like putting myself here, I surround myself with like my coach. His name is Bobby Peterson, who works with like Kyle Berkshire. Like he's back down in North Carolina. So the drive here to there, I do that a few times, right? Wow. So yeah, just being around in the East Coast kind of helps for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you make that drive?
Yeah. Last year was training? Yeah, last year was a few times. This year I haven't done it because a lot of more work here. But yeah, definitely. So how, I mean, this year, like your World Long Drive, like what are you like most looking forward to now, knowing that like you get to like come back to this environment once you're done? So whether or not you come out on top, you get to come back here and kind of like keep immersing yourself in the golf environment. So like, does that continuously push you to be a better player? Absolutely. I mean, this year too, the World Long Drive, right? They bought the sports of long drive from PLDA, which is the Professional Long Drive Association. So now we got a bigger like a company that like kind of helps us to be known towards the golf world. So it's really exciting year for long drive, for the sport to grow, you know. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's that gonna take me. But yeah.
Well, it's an exciting year for you, considering you get to stay here after the fact and you get to participate in the World Long Drive again.
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
So I want to dig in a little bit to your experience here. You're the only female instructor on staff here at Kohr. Yeah. And from what I've noticed, like the camaraderie, your friendships with the other instructors, like it seems top notch. But how does that put you in a position that makes it a little more either difficult for you or just like different challenges that you might experience, like being here as the only female?
To be honest with you, I feel like being in the golf industry itself, you surround yourself with a lot of like male, you know, which is fine. Like I'm used to it, and I'm big into like fitness world too, like training and stuff. So I've been there and I've surrounded myself with the people whose mindset like me, male or female. So I think gender wise, I don't see much of like a challenge. I think it's even if it's a challenge, it's good for me to challenge myself to be better, right? And we have a crew that are pretty much like younger teams. We have one a little more experience, which I learn a lot from him too. So I think just having like different backgrounds and motivated, high energy people, I think that's just a good team environment to be in for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, does that kind of fuel you to be like the stronger, like better version of yourself since
Absolutely.
you're surrounded by people like that?
Yeah. Gotta, keep myself like learn about like new technology, and like I did like a Sportbox AI certification the other day, and it was, just need to keep pushing forward, right? Like with new technology, and just get golf in a better place.
Yeah, definitely. So being that you're the only female instructor, something that I noticed is that the younger girls find comfort in you being around. Do you feel that way too? Like knowing that like you're out on the range with these different groups of kids, obviously it is very like male dominated, and you can see that in like the ranks as they're coming up. But do you feel that some of the younger kids, the girls specifically, kind of find comfort in you being a coach for them, and then do you see kind of reward in that, as though they keep coming back and they keep playing and they keep getting better and becoming stronger golfers?
Yes, absolutely. And it felt good to be that person, where they like look up to. It's an honor, right? So I have to kind of keep myself in a high standard too, because like they are looking up to you. So yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I know that you've traveled a few times to see some players who've come up through the ranks of Kohr to go play. What does that kind of look like for you? Like, do you just like kind of pick and choose like when you go watch different groups of people, or is there like a particular reason you go, whether that be like a coaching reason or just like to be a friend? Yes, for sure. I think just being out there, support them while they're playing at tournaments is always helpful, right? Like a lot of times I see coaches who just kind of be that technical coach and never actually see their players play on the course, right? So I think just giving time and making time for them is really like valuable as a coach, as well as like just a relationship, like a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what sets Kohr a lot different from the rest of the world too. Yeah,
I've definitely noticed that like their spirits are high when you are around. So I feel like that relationship building that you're doing with the kids is definitely very, very special. So my final question is, how far are you going to hit your drive at the World Long Drive?
Well, hopefully carry it over 300 and just let it run forever. Okay. So we'll see how far that's going to go. But yeah, definitely just maybe 350, hopefully.
Okay,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, gotta beat my record, which is 365 so far.
Okay.
Yes, just trying to beat my record again.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to watching. I'm looking forward to following along.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking with me today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed meeting Mai with me today. Stay tuned for next month's feature, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you guys. Bye.